Hey y'all, how's it going? I'm trading the ES futures on a 2000 tick chart with a 21 EMA. So I've got the overnight high up here and the overnight low down here. These are our key levels for the day. So starting off, I started trading at 8 Central Time, which is this area right here. Now notice as we have this little breakout of this range right here, it's also, we have this downtrend break, first attempt at a new low. Now of course you don't want to enter on this bar right here right into that trend line. But even on this bar right here that's closing out, I still would not like entering on that. Of course, if you enter with a stop, you wouldn't really have enough room. But even if you wanted to enter with a limit order, the reason I don't like it is because, once again, it's only the first attempt at a new low. You can expect a second attempt, but it's also just a first entry. Now, if you got two clear legs down to the other side, then we can look for a buy off these lows. But this is really just one leg down. It's all within this structure. There's not even a tick higher, which it wouldn't matter if there was. It's all inside of the structure here. It's clearly, the first attempt lower for the break of this downtrend. So I don't like that right here. But then we do push up higher here. And then after we get a couple legs back, we push on lower here. This kind of looks good right here. There's clearly not enough room. You're right into those lows. But, you are expecting a second leg at a new low. It held right at that upper trend line of this range. And then it just pushed on lower here. So this is a good limit order trade, but even at the moment, I was away from the chart, so I can't say I tried to enter it on that. But that does look pretty good if you tried to get in on that. So we push on lower here. We break out the lows of this range. We immediately fade back up very strong. And so at this point here, what I was hoping for was a clear failed second entry. So that's a reversal pattern, and this is a perfect area for a reversal pattern. Coming off the overnight lows right after fading very strong, it's very nice to get a reversal pattern. But we didn't get that. We end up rushing back below the EMA. We bounce off the overnight low again, and so we get this higher low right here, but that's not enough. Now then, at this point here, we get the failed second entry, but it doesn't end up triggering for us when it's above the EMA. So you can see right here, first entry short, second entry short, but we never got that failure. But it was starting to, form this trend line right here, which of course at the time, we had this kind of downward momentum here. So when you see that, it is right into it. So I wasn't going to enter it, but it didn't trigger anyway. So we end up pushing on lower here, very strong. So notice we have this, after we break out, we have that first attempt to fade. And then this right here, it's not really the second attempt to fade. I mean, it's clearly the second leg up here, but at this point when it bounced off of it here, it basically did fade at this point, and then it just broke back out. But so anyway, after those two legs up, we drop on down. We start going into this range. After we have these couple legs up, leg up here, leg back down, push back up, it's clear we're in this range here. And so we're starting to go sideways. But then here, when we bounce up here, notice that this swing, the low is higher than this low. So we have a higher low, clearly forming these two legs up right here after forming that new low. And so as soon as it reached it, or not as soon as it reached it, it did chop for a bit, but at that area of this measured move, it just plummeted back down into this range. And so it was clear we're off these highs, clear we have the measured move met, and then a very clear bearish signal bar. I needed a limit order because if you entered with a stop order, look where your target would have been. You would have had to push it all the way out of this range from here, which you don't want to see. So I used a limit order, managed to get, a very good fill, getting out safely before the lows, because you can't bet on it doing this. You can see right here it broke on out, but it's not going to do that every time. So we do end up pushing lower here. Then notice this wider downtrend that I mentioned earlier. So these lows are continuing to fit. We push lower here, bounce again. Now, when you come off the lows of a channel, even though channels have a bias, and so this is a down channel, even though it has a downward bias, of course, you still want to see two attempts to reach the other side before you continue down with it. Because when you come off the lows, just like with the range rules, when you come off one side, price is expected to reach the other side. So you need to wait on two attempts. That's basically it playing out. It's attempts to reach the other side. Because these levels do act as magnets. They bounce back and forth. So we get two legs here. You get that first leg up and then second leg up. But on that second leg up, it's all getting very sideways here and choppy. So I didn't like this. It's just a little bit not clear. Starting to go sideways. Also, of course, I want to talk about measured legs. It's not measured, and considering the trendline rules, when you expect it to reach the other side, you do want to see a measured, or if not, then another attempt to reach the measure. And when we get that second attempt, notice we have that, after the break, we have the measured move in play at this point. We have that first attempt, and then the second attempt to reach it right here, and then we fail down, but it's way too choppy, of course. It's just staying in that range. No clear entry, but we do push on down here. We bounce off the trend line again, just a first entry short. Unfortunately, you cannot take a first entry short safely. And then same thing right here. We get another bounce on our first entry. We just gotta avoid them. I know they can look tempting, but you just had to bounce off the lows there, so you gotta wait for 2 legs. And then here, we overshoot, and then we have a stronger leg higher, so we push higher here, and then we get a break. And now, we started forming that second leg, but it ended up just kind of staying in this range right here, forming those, basically perfect highs right there. And so we're in this range. You don't want to enter short right into the, even though you have 2 legs up right there, the EMA has been holding basically the whole way up. It's right into it there. You don't want to enter into that. And then even when it closes below the EMA here, then there's just no room to the lows. And then something like this kind of looks tempting. You can kind of see what it's doing here. Even though it's all within this range, you have uptrend, break, new high, and then a push into a reversal pattern, a failed second entry, first entry long, second entry long, failure, and it continues down. But it is right into those lows, so you unfortunately cannot take that safely. But just showing what's technically happening there. Even though it's harder to see, you can still, price action holds the same. It always holds true. Uptrend played out with a break to a new high, pushing into a reversal pattern. So just wanted to point that out there. Now we continue in this downtrend here. Not a very good, get a couple corrections here. They're not very good. It's only first entries not reaching the trend line even, so we just can't take them. And, sometimes on days like this where it just drops so much, it's just like a downtrend the whole day. It can feel like you missed a lot of moves, but if there's no opportunity to get in, then there's just no opportunity to get in. Your job as a trader is not just getting as much movement from the day as possible. It's about controlling your emotions while the day progresses, and then taking what you can get. Because most people can't take a little bit. Most people, when they trade this chart, they can't take even a little tiny bit of this whole day. You're not looking to catch the whole day. You're only looking to catch a little bit consistently every day. So, just wanted to mention that. It can look like you missed some moves here, like it dropped on down here. Some may feel like they missed out on getting short, but no, there just wasn't an entry. It was 2 legs down right there. You don't want to enter short right into that. So and then like I was talking about here, how it kind of looks good. Say you missed that and you didn't see any other trades you liked, and then you might get tempted to enter on something like that. But you just gotta stick to the rules. You gotta accept you're not gonna catch every tick on this chart. You're just gonna catch a little bit, and you gotta get consistent with it. So anyway, I kind of forgot where we were on this chart here. I think we were right here. So we had those couple attempts. Neither one reached the trend line, but we did push on down here. Of course, once again, we reached that trend line, although we did overshoot here. So we can look to extend it at this point, but it's important to see if it holds from the previous levels too. But we continue down here. When we reach this, it starts getting choppy. Of course, there's no entries. We start overshooting again before we getting a stronger reversal. Now we can get a failed second entry, so like a big picture failed second entry. At this point, it's getting pretty choppy, but it could have set up a little better. When we push up here, get 2 legs back, we can still get something similar. Like if we push higher and then get a pullback, we can get kind of a failed second entry still. But yeah, we can expect a second leg higher because like I was talking about, when you come off one side, whoops, I didn't mean to move that there. When you come off one side, you can expect price to reach the other side. So we have this leg up here. We can get a break. We might even get like another leg down like this, which actually, it could be nice. We can get a couple legs down like that, and then get a second leg up to the other side. And then if it holds, then maybe, rush below EMA, get a failed second entry. That would probably be the most ideal trade. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope it helped out in some way. I really hope you enjoyed it. And, yep, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.